Welcome back to the channel, folks. Let's do this. Okay folks, let's get down to it right now. Basically, the Model Y deliveries are imminent. Any day now, you're gonna, if you've got your order in and you've got your VIN and all that kind of stuff, any day you're gonna be getting a call or an email from Tesla saying your vehicle is ready to be picked up, or being delivered, however it works. So I understand the excitement, but you know what? A lot of people want to know stats before they even order it. Like the people that have ordered it already, they're willing to deal with it, but they might find this information useful too. The dimensions were finally released. Well, released or leaked, however you want to look at it. Testmanian, they're the website that got all this information, so big credit to all the numbers and all these stats and dimensions that I'm about to give out. I'll put a link in the description below. You can check it out all for yourself, but let's go through the numbers quickly right now. First of all, the Model Y dimensions, I'm going to talk about them all in inches. There are millimeters, and I'll put those up on the screen too for all our metric friends, but all what I'm going to be talking about is going to be in inches. So for the overall lengths, we're looking at 187 inches. The overall width, now these are including mirrors, and there's some stats there on the screen there for folded mirrors or without mirrors. I'm just going to stick to excluding mirrors because when I compare it to other vehicles later in the video, you'll see what I mean. So 75.6 inches overall width. These are without mirrors. Overall height, it's pretty impressive, 64 inches of height. And the curb weight, now they did the curb weight with a long range battery, a dual motor, is 4,416 pounds. Now, that's great. Those numbers are great and probably mean nothing to you unless you have something to compare it to. So what a lot of people are coming from or thinking of choosing is a Model Y or a Model 3. So let's compare it right now to the Model 3 numbers. So the overall length for the Model 3 is 184.8 inches. Now, if we look at that compared to the Model Y, we're looking at 187. So just over 2 inches difference in length. Now, many people may say 2 inches is not a huge number, but I think it is. It is a big difference. Moving on to the width, once again, the overall width, excluding mirrors for the Model 3, is 73 inches. When we look at the Model Y, it's 75.6. So about 2.5 inches wider. So someone had said, and I think I mentioned this in one of my podcasts a couple weeks ago, that they spoke to someone or they knew someone that worked in Tesla, worked closely on the Model Y development, and they sat in the backseat of a Model Y and they compared it to the Model 3, and they said it seemed wider in the backseat. Well, if that is true, now we know why. The car is physically wider. It is 2.5 inches wider, so that's why that person must have got the appearance of it feeling wider. So the overall length for the Model 3 is 184.8 inches. Now, if we look at that compared to the Model Y, we're looking at 187. So just over 2 inches difference in length. Now, many people may say 2 inches is not a huge number. Moving on to the total height, and this is a big number, folks. The Model 3's total height is 57 inches. Now, you compare that with the overall height of the Model Y, 64. So that's 7 inches taller. So we've seen pictures of them side by side, the Model 3 and the Model Y, and you can see the height difference. Well, now we actually have raw data and actual numbers. So it's 7 inches taller than the Model 3. And last but not least, the curb weight of a Model 3, we'll do the same one. The long-range dual motor is 4,072 pounds. That's a difference of 344. So basically almost 350 pounds difference between the Model Y and the Model 3. And keep in mind, that makes sense because there's more vehicle up top. We talked about how it's wider, it's longer, and it's taller. So that makes sense that it's going to be heavier. But what's interesting and what's amazing is we're assuming, and I think it's a pretty safe assumption, the battery pack sizes are going to be the same for both 3 and Y. The drive unit's going to be the same. The motors are going to be the same. So everything is the same, but it's heavier and it's getting better, or if not the same efficiency as a Model 3. That's amazing. Whatever Tesla did in their efficiency numbers or their drive unit or something to squeeze out that efficiency is utterly amazing. So there you have it, folks. That if you're comparing a Model 3 to a Model Y and you're on the fence and you're wondering if it'll fit in your garage and stuff like that, here are the numbers. These are the raw numbers. Once again, I want to thank Testmanian for all this information, stuff like that. But I'm not going to end the video there, folks, because there's some people that aren't just thinking of a Model 3. They may be thinking of another gas vehicle or ICE vehicle, and they're comparing it to an electric vehicle like a Model Y. So let's compare it to 3 vehicles that I thought are competitors to the Model Y that are ICE vehicles. So the first vehicle was an Audi Q5, and the length 183.5, the width 74.5, and the height 65.3 inches. So basically the Model Y is a little wider and a little lower than the Q5. but the numbers are very, very close. Moving on to the next vehicle, the BMW X3. Those numbers respectively from length, width, and height are 185, 74.4, and 66. So they're almost the same. We're talking an inch or less between both vehicles' dimensions. And the last vehicle we're going to compare to is the Porsche Macan. Once again, respectively, the numbers are 184 for the height, 75.7 for the width, and 63 for the height. So once again, they're almost the same as the Model Y. And if you think these numbers are just coincidence, folks, they're not. Just like when the Model 3 came out and those numbers were very close to BMWs and Audis and stuff like that and their competitors, and we found it very close. Once again, there was no coincidence there, folks. Those numbers were there on purpose. They directly targeted those vehicles in terms of size and dimensions and stuff like that. And they're doing the same thing here with the Model Y and the Audis and the BMWs and the Porsches. They're going for those markets. And as we all know, anyone that's got a Model Y reservation or order, that it's, in my opinion, it's going to be a better vehicle. And if it's anything like the Model 3, it's going to sell a lot better and probably hurt those sales of those vehicles. Anyways, folks, that's all I got for you. I understand the excitement is huge. People are just, I've been on the forums and on the groups the last couple days and stuff like that, and everyone can't wait for their Model Ys. Hang in there, folks. You just got about another 2 or 3 days, hopefully, and we'll be seeing customer Model Ys all over the road in the US, and you never know, hopefully here in Canada too. Thanks for watching, folks. We'll catch you on the next one. Take care. Oh, it is so hot in here. Sure glad I don't have to do this every single day. Yeah.